And good morning to you. I'm Mitch McCoy here at KRK4 and Fox 16. We have a urgent search underway across Arkansas. Jacksonville police say they're investigating a reported kidnapping. This is the kidnapping of a 27-year-old woman. Let me immediately get to their photos here. This is what we know right now about just both the victim and the suspect. The victim there you see on the left-hand corner of your screen here. Let me go ahead and bring that up full for you. Shakale Jones is the victim, according to the Jacksonville Police Department. In all of this, we're also learning about the suspect, Shannon Deshawn Jones Jr. Take a good look at these photos right here. Jacksonville police say they are investigating a reported kidnapping this morning. The victim of this reported kidnapping is Shakale Jones on the left-hand side of your screen. And then on the right-hand side is the suspect in this, the suspect being Shannon Deshawn Jones Jr. We're learning from the Jacksonville Police Department that Jones, the suspect in this, is apparently an estranged husband to Shakale Jones. So right now we know that the victim, Shakale Jones, is missing. She vanished around 5:20 this morning. According to the Jacksonville Police Department, she was last seen wearing a t-shirt but no pants or shoes. Authorities believe that the suspect in this case is Jones' estranged husband, Shannon Deshawn Jones Jr. He, by the way, is 31 years old. Shannon Jones, again, the suspect on the right-hand side of your screen. He is about 5'9". He weighs around 205 pounds with a medium build, brown eyes, and black hair. And I'm reading this information coming in from our newsroom almost in real time here. We also know that the suspect in this, on the right-hand side of your screen, again, Shannon Deshawn Jones Jr., could be armed, and that is according to the Jacksonville Police Department. And here's a big key piece to all of this. That's the license plate and the vehicle description. As we bring that up right here for you, we're learning that the suspect could be driving a 2018 Toyota Corolla with a license plate number of 351 ZEX. And that is information coming in just now from the Jacksonville Police Department. We don't know a lot about what transpired early this morning, but we do know that the victim was last seen wearing just a t-shirt, no pants, no shoes. And according to Jacksonville police, the 27-year-old Shakale Jones was taken from her home in the 200 block of Northeastern Avenue just after 5 o'clock this morning. And I want to give you a kind of a bird's eye perspective to where authorities have been centered this morning, and that is in this area right here. This is the 200 block of Northeastern Avenue. You can see it's a very residential neighborhood. You can see that there are several homes, and it appears, if I go back to the Google Maps here, that it's right off of Graham Road in Jacksonville. So not far from the Boys and Girls Club, quite frankly, and not far off of Highway 67. This is going to be a quite urgent search for not just authorities, but for every law enforcement agency in the state. Obviously, you're going to have the Jacksonville Police Department leading up this case, but they are now, Jacksonville PD, likely relying on other law enforcement agencies as well, including the Arkansas State Police. If you think about it, this reported kidnapping happened just after 5 o'clock this morning. We're now 6 hours in to this urgent search, so you might even have law enforcement agencies from other states that are now being notified of this and now on high alert. So, of course, a very urgent search happening right now in Arkansas. If you're just joining us here, we are following breaking news. We wanted to come across all of our digital platforms to let you know about a reported kidnapping this morning. You see the victim on the left-hand side of that box there, Shakale Jones. She's 27 years old. According to the Jacksonville Police Department, she may have been kidnapped by her estranged husband, Shannon Deshaun Jones Jr. According to authorities, Shannon Jones, the suspect, could be armed in this case. They could be driving a dark blue 2018 Toyota Corolla with a license plate number of 351ZEX. That's 351ZEX. The Jacksonville Police Department did not say if that was an Arkansas license plate. At this point, we could assume so, but just keep your eyes on that license plate, of course. If you see a vehicle matching that description, if you see her, Shakale Jones, or you see the suspect, Shannon Jones Jr., you are asked to immediately call 911. An urgent search now happening, not just in Jacksonville. You likely have numerous law enforcement agencies involved in this search for Shakale, and according to Jacksonville police, her alleged kidnapper, her estranged husband, Shannon Deshaun Jones Jr. Again, this happened just after 5 o'clock this morning at Shakale's home, according to the Jacksonville Police Department, in the 200 block of Northeastern Avenue. That's not far off of Graham Road. That's not far from Highway 67, 167. So in that respect, and if I go back to the map here, that would be a pretty good tell sign that you have 67, 167 being so close to where this reported kidnapping happened. Anyone in the state of Arkansas needs to be on high alert right now. We're 6 hours into this search, and at this point, they could be anywhere in the state. They could be in surrounding states at this point. So that's why it's so important for folks, if you're looking at this video and you're seeing this headline, Jacksonville Police investigating reported kidnapping, really anyone in the state of Arkansas or surrounding states could be a critical asset to authorities in the middle of this investigation, specifically because we are 6 hours into this case. And because we're 6 hours into it, they could be in surrounding states. So share this video right now with your friends. Let them know to be on high alert as Jacksonville police now investigating a reported kidnapping this morning. Shakale Jones, according to authorities, is the victim in this case. And officers say that it was her estranged husband that kidnapped her. That is the suspect you see on the right-hand side of your screen, Shannon Deshaun Jones Jr., and they could be in a dark blue 2018 Toyota Corolla, license plate 351ZEX. That's license plate 351ZEX. If you have any information about this case, anything about where they could be, you are asked to call the Jacksonville Police Department. But if you see her, if you see him, if you see this 2018 Toyota Corolla, license plate 351ZEX, call 911 immediately. You are asked to do so by authorities, and of course, we will keep you updated on this story as we continue to learn more throughout the afternoon and throughout the morning. Of course, this is something that every law enforcement agency is going to have their eyes on today, and I want to welcome folks in who are just joining us as we are following a breaking news story. We will reset for you as we learn even more about this case, as we learn that authorities are investigating a reported kidnapping this morning. Let's reset for folks just joining us here. I'm seeing quite a few people joining in on our live stream. Now is the time. Share this video. You don't know what sharing the video could do in this urgent search. What I would hope that you could do is understand how important it is when you share the video, you're letting people know outside of the state as well. And we'll get to that in just a moment. But go ahead, take a moment, share the video, and then we'll reset for you what we know right now. We just got informed by Jacksonville police that they are investigating a reported kidnapping. It happened just after 5 o'clock this morning. Jacksonville police officers say that the victim, Shakale Jones, may have been kidnapped by her estranged husband, Shannon Deshaun Jones Jr. And that's according to authorities. Apparently, this all happened in the 200 block of Northeastern Avenue in Jacksonville, which is where Shakale lives. We actually have a crew. We're going to that neighborhood right now. We're trying to get an idea of what the scene looks like there. We know that the victim and suspect could be driving, or they could be in this vehicle right here, a dark blue 2018 Toyota Corolla, license plate 351ZEX. 351ZEX, and that is something that, according to authorities, we have that they could be in. So this is something that, of course, every law enforcement agency in the state and in the surrounding areas, they're going to be keeping a close eye on. Here's what we know about the victim and the suspect. So the victim in this, Shaquille Jones, was last seen just wearing a T-shirt. According to authorities, she did not have pants on. She had no shoes on. Authorities believe that our suspect in the case, which is the man you see on the right-hand side, Shannon Deshaun Jones Jr., is her estranged husband, could be the suspect in this kidnapping. Shannon Jones is described as a black man standing about 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighing 205 pounds. He has a medium build, as you can see there, brown eyes and black hair. Police believe that Shannon Jones, again, we're talking about the suspect here on the right-hand side, could be armed. Investigators say they were last seen in that dark blue 2018 Toyota Corolla, license plate 351ZEX. That's 351ZEX. And if you have any information about this case, you are asked to call the Jacksonville Police Department. But if you see this dark blue Toyota Corolla, if you see Shaquille, if you see her apparently estranged husband, who's now being labeled as a suspect by authorities in this, you are asked to immediately call 911. I was asking for your help sharing this video at the very beginning of our live stream for a couple different reasons. One, people need to know that authorities are investigating a reported kidnapping. But what I want to point out is why sharing this video is so important, and it comes back to this right here. And I have to pull up this camera. I wasn't expecting to use it in our stream here, but I think that it's important because when you share this video, we get people informed about this kidnapping. It's because this apparently happened around 5:20 this morning, according to authorities, which means we're now 6 hours in to this investigation. It takes 5 hours to get to Dallas. They could easily be in another state by now, which is why you have surrounding authorities likely now being notified and to be on high alert for not only this vehicle, but Shaquille and her, according to authorities, her estranged husband. So when you share the video, it's important because you have more eyes on it in more states. And of course, that's exactly what authorities are doing. You can also be their eyes and ears as well. We will continue to keep you updated on this breaking news story throughout the day. Let me show you their photos one more time. The victim, Shaquille Jones, the suspect, Shannon Deshaun Jones Jr. They're both being sought right now by authorities. The victim in this, according to authorities, is Shaquille Jones. She may have been kidnapped this morning just after 5 o'clock by her estranged husband, Shannon Deshaun Jones Jr. That is according to the Jacksonville Police Department. We will keep you updated on this breaking news story throughout the day. Of course, as we get updates, we will certainly pass them along to you. And I'm just checking in with the newsroom here to see if we have any more further updates. It does not look like we do. And of course, as we get updates on this urgent search now for Shaquille Jones, we'll certainly pass it along to you. For now, I'm Mitch McCoy. Our next newscast is in about 40 minutes on KARK4. That is where our new newscast, Arkansas Today, will begin, and we'll have live updates on this breaking news story throughout the day right here on the device that you're watching. Also worth noting, go ahead and download our mobile phone app. You can get alerts directly to your phone when breaking news happens. For now, I'm Mitch McCoy. Have a good rest of your morning.